And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port.
That's right,
here
baby.
On a Monday, a Barnes, Tony, and Domac Monday. How you gentlemen doing today?
We're doing good. Hanging in there.
Great day, dude. Great Monday. Excited for this Monday. We'll be golfing later too.
Yep.
Obviously, pumped to be here. Post horseshoe. Let's go, dude.
Any? I know you've kind of went into this a little bit, but like, what are we gonna see out there today for you guys? The golf, like, what's the format? What do we got?
All right. So there's 6 people here.
Two threesomes.
Two threesomes. Yep. We got a 3-day tourney. 9 holes each day right now.
Contingencies for the weather tomorrow.
Oh God, dude, I have no idea. I think right now we talked about it, trying to muscle it out. But I guess time will tell. It's supposed to rain like pretty heavily tomorrow and Wednesday, so I guess we'll see. I mean, if anything, we'll have to postpone, different day, whatever. I would hate to I don't know how much experience you have, Brian, playing in the rain and how bad you've tried to tough it out.
I would hate it.
But I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can, dude.
It's literally, it's like the worst thing ever, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm such a golf fiend that even like if it's raining, but I just really wanted to play that day, I'll still go. Sometimes it ends up like clearing up, kind of after like a hole or two. But sometimes it's like, what the heck was I thinking?
Have you ever been golfing with your boys and they're like, "Hey, dude, we gotta, it's too much. We gotta wrap it up," and you're like, "No, we're staying."
So no,
but
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's been an instance or two though where it's like we're at the turn and then they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna go," and then I'm just like, if I'm shooting well, I probably would stay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for you.
So 6 people now. Is it just an individual 3-day tally? What are we talking here?
Yeah, individual 3-day tally. I think I think such set up handicaps for everyone.
Yeah, we tied in our handicaps too and stuff.
What'd you put in as your handicap?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. They did. They
put it for you.
They put it in for me.
What about you, Mike?
They looked at I showed them my Garmin app and they looked. I don't even know what mine is, but they looked and they shaved off strokes. I think me and Tony have the same amount of strokes added. Is it? I think it's 6 or 12.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Okay, so let's say it, hypothetically though it was 6, it would be every 3 holes you get a stroke. Is that what it would be?
Think so. Okay. To my knowledge, I thought it was whatever your final score is, you just take off them 8 strokes.
That could be that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But
we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun though. Yeah. First time golfing this year.
Who's the top golfer in the group?
I guess Connor, right?
It'd be Connor. He's played the longest.
Yeah.
He's been playing since sophomore year. He said he's been keeping score since.
And what does he go out there and shoot typically?
I mean, what did he shot when you guys played?
I don't remember because we were playing 9s. So we weren't paying attention to necessarily the score. We were playing a game. So we weren't I wasn't sitting there being I'm shooting 4 over right now and he's 6 over. We were playing a game where it's you get points depending on where you place each hole.
Oh, I got you.
So I don't necessarily remember his score, but I know he beat me by a lot. I mean, but also blew up on the back. So I don't know if he really played well or not, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know because we were playing 9, so I don't really know. But.
Yeah, I gotcha. What also I think you were get pounded. You were mentioning you played yesterday. Got 9 in Tunxis. What did you make? How were the conditions over there? Was the course in good shape or
the conditions? They were all right. I mean, they were all right for the first week of March. The only issue was because they saw the temperature and the weather, they overbooked like crazy.
Oh, so it was a long.
The first 2 holes, it was the first hole there was a line of 5 carts just to get out.
Yeah.
And then the second hole was 4, but as we get playing, it kind of spaced itself out. But once we got to the 8th, 9th hole, when you can see the first and second hole, those 2 holes were backed up all day.
Oh my god!
It was.
Well, it's because they're starving for money all winter.
Yeah.
And first opportunity. I went shorts in a t-shirt, shorts in a short sleeve.
Polo
yesterday.
I was going to, but I left with pants on already, so I went short sleeves and pants. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it literally, like I know, like obviously the sun, it makes you feel warmer, but it literally felt like summer.
Yeah, no, yeah, literally.
Which was awesome. Now for you, was there any like hole or particular shot like that stood out, like that you were out for?
I mean, for me yesterday, my putt, I'm kind of proud of my putting yesterday. I only putted 15 times, and like on average, you'd putt like twice a hole, like 18 times.
Right.
So I was putting less than twice a hole on average, but my irons were killing me yesterday. Like if like on my scorecard, I always do like a draw, like I put my name because normally I have my own scorecard, so it'll just be my name, and then the next 3 boxes would be like a drive, approach, a putt. So I can write down my scores. And like my drives, I was like 4 for 7 on hitting the fairway off my drives, but on my approach shots, if I kept every scorecard I had, you would see all my approach shots, like 95% of them have an arrow and it's down. I'm always short on my iron, so it's like I'm never hitting them well.
Yeah,
like, it used to be able to hit them well, but now my drive's fine, my putting's fine, my chipping's fine. It's just my irons are just killing me.
Yeah. I have to say my second shot typically is usually my worst.
Yes,
honestly, because you're going for the green on a par 4, and it's like usually like a line. You picked your head up.
Yeah.
That
happened for me the first 2 holes. The first hole I topped it, walked back up to it. I'm like, all right, keep my head down. I do it and topped it again. And I'm like, dude, like, what are we doing? It's the first hole. It just started. Like, we just got back out here. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. But it was so nice. The only thing I'm a little tight, but I guess actually middle of next week, I think it's supposed to be mid-50s. But obviously during the week, it's tough to get rounds in. But just like it was so nice playing yesterday, and it's like, oh well, have fun. You're not going to play for a couple weeks. But I guess you guys are playing, but at least today, and then see what happens the rest of the week. Are you rotating between the black and the red course?
I think the way we talked about it was we're gonna stay on one course, but the course we picked, I guess, is like a course that we haven't played recently yet, because the last couple of times we played on the red course.
Yeah.
And I think to make it fair for I think Tony, because he hasn't played there yet, we're gonna play somewhere we haven't all played. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so the black course.
So we're gonna play the black course, because the red course is kind of a layout. Yeah, we'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
black's tough. According to Brian.
Back in the day, they used to have pipes running down the fairway, but they cleaned things up a little bit. They used to have a sewer pipe running across the fairway.
Are you serious?
Tony, I'm not kidding. Like you, like with your outrage and stuff, like you would have been outraged if you saw what Fairchild used to look like.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's not like it's like some pristine course now, but like it was rough to say the least.
What did they just like change ownership, or they just start to renovate?
I think they just like probably got tired of everybody like talking smack.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think for Fairchild, last couple of times I've played there, it's been decent.
Yeah, I've never had complaints there.
And I think the whole thing, again, this time of year, you're just happy to get out there. So it's like you're not really caring about the course. But once we're in the full swing of things, then it's like, okay, like I really I want to play a nice course, like nothing nonsense type of deal.
Yeah, true. I mean, like you said, first round for me. Hoping for the best here.
But there seems like there's some hesitation there for you, Tony.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, again, like it's my first time golfing, and since August, I guess. So
yeah.
It should be interesting. I mean, these guys have been golfing a lot recently, so if I want to keep it competitive,
Are you thinking bring some McGillicuddies out there, a couple?
I mean, if I want to do worse, maybe.
So a dry day for you.
Yeah,
water
I think so.
only.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's are you guys gonna be drinking on the course, or what's the?
No, I don't do that. I'd say laser focus.
They're taking it pretty seriously here. So,
but even for casual rounds, like you don't usually drink on the course.
No, not really. Just because even my casual rounds, like I try to shoot so well,
right?
That I would get like too mad at myself. Like I can't.
I feel like for me, it's like during the week, like I will never drink, but then it's like on the weekend, like I don't know, like a Friday afternoon round. It's kind of tough not to.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You have to at that point.
But during the week, it's definitely nice to be dialed.
Yeah.
Let's get to the comments because we have about 30.
Yeah, dude.
Let's go, baby.
All right, so we got Kev Do starting with a let's go. We want to smoke. Last week, very busy at work, couldn't watch, but I'm back for now until further notice. What's up, Yankee boy? Shout out Buck to Tony, Mike, and Matty G. Matthew Gabriel with a let's go. Kev Do says what's up. He's saying what's up to Kev Do. And then Buck just says, Barnes, I'm on a scale of 1 to 10. How much do you love me, my man?
You already know it's a 10, brother.
You said that no one loves me more than you. I hope that is still true. And then he
Michael
says,
Buckton with the Sambuca this
Yeah,
morning.
dude. The Buktabuka.
Then he said, also, please have Michael T read these comments if he's around. Imagine Tatum as Captain Hook. Tony would be the sailor. Barnes would be the spectator.
Spectator.
Spectator. I don't know why it's a spectator. And Mike would be the medical staff when Tatum gets bruised.
Wow, a little aggressive there for Michael Buckton.
And then Josh V says, yo, what's up, fam? Happy Monday. Matty G, Buckta, hashtag TCA, hashtag Sportsport, hashtag DTV. Tony's mother saying good morning to his beautiful son.
Hi,
To
Mom.
her beautiful son.
No one else. Yeah.
Buckta saying the way Michael T says Tatum is hysterical. Also, not to mention Tatum and I would have a sword duel on the ship. Then he keeps
Hammering it, dude.
Hammering it. Keeps going. Who was what during Tatum and I sword duel? Matthew Gabriel, some back and forth.
Josh B.
Josh
loving
B.
it. Here's a tough question. Who hates Tatum more than Matt? Oh, Matt or me?
Obviously, it's
I mean, it's
you.
definitely Buckta. It's an easy
Yeah,
question.
Gabriel saying, what's up? What's going on?
Kev
Kev
says,
do too. What's going
Domac,
on?
what's good, he says.
What's up, people? Oh, and then Matthew Gabriel said Barnes, our first Mohegan outing was cold and rainy.
And you know what, though? The funny part about that is he was telling his like family the day before they had like some, it was like a birthday party or something. And he's telling them they're golfing and they're like, oh, you're golfing. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, whole time we golfed, like a mist, maybe, got the whole round in. As soon as we're on the way home, downpour.
Really?
That's
Did
awesome.
get it
Love
in,
that.
so it
Love
was
that.
nice
Perfect
to
timing.
Shoot the gap. As they would say.
Then he said, Silver Mine, maybe this summer we shall see.
Yes, Tony.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
Matthew
Tony,
Gabriel
yes.
wants some more energy out of me. I'll try.
Yeah.
He says Tatum
Here we
sucks.
go. Bang, dude.
He said Tatum. Kev just says Tatum's a goat.
Kev dude doesn't know anything.
Okay, gotta go.
Buck asked how old I am. I'm turning 21 next. What's today? Monday? In a week from now.
Wow, dude.
21 next week.
I think they're gonna get pounded.
And then he said we're gonna tee one off Tatum's head at Orange County Barns in the summer.
Then hit the beach and
Have
have
some
some
whiskey
whiskey and tease Tatum.
Wow, Brian with the whiskey. Glass of whiskey, Brian. What do you think about that?
Ugh, yeah,
Right?
Not really my thing. It is tough though. I do have to say I always used to kind of like say like, oh, like, I think people like overplay like how much you actually feel like bloated. But I feel like I am kind of feeling it now, like with the beers, like how it's like kind of like to just go beers, like you kind of are bloated.
Yeah.
Dude. Totally agree, honestly.
But at the same time, I'm not trying to,
Yeah.
I don't know, take a bunch of like shots and have a bunch of mixed drinks. Like,
Yeah.
Not really. Not
Yeah.
really. Honestly. I feel like wine and margaritas from now on with the little
Oh.
McGillicuddies.
Wow, dude. That's quite the fucking mix. Oh my God.
Well, take the McGillicuddies out, but wine or margaritas for you, Tony?
That's a crazy night.
No, I'm saying, but which one do you
Oh, which
prefer?
one?
Yeah.
Either or. That's tough, dude. You think longevity? I guess margaritas.
Yeah, but I feel like it's like two, like you're feeling like pretty good, like already.
Oh yeah.
No, and because two
Yeah.
for like something else, like it
Yeah.
wouldn't seem that crazy.
But I feel like if I have like, I mean, I've went through wine phases where
Yeah.
I've like housed like 2 bottles in a night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that sometimes you get like heartburn. It gives me heartburn sometimes. Like
Honestly, it's like splitting like a bottle with a couple of people, like over dinner. Like that's kind of the way to do it.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
love
once
that.
you're past like 2 glasses, maybe have a third, but then
Yeah.
that's it. But you like white better or no?
no, red better.
Okay,
Red is
I
way
don't.
better,
Somebody
dude.
else likes white. I don't know who it is.
White wine is kind of gross. Too
No.
sweet. It's
like
just
I could do it, but yeah, I think red wine is awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then Matthew Gabriel says, have 13 shots of tequila at the Stumblabons. So talking about an Eastern moment
wow.
back in the day, cracking up, Tony. So the good old days. So, we did talk a lot about golf and yesterday at the Horseshoe, we mentioned how the Cognizant Classic was called yesterday from darkness and they had a weather delay. So they're actually on the course right now. Just looking at where everybody is, in their rounds. I would imagine, there's probably like an hour left, if that. I see some guys are on hole 15. Who's really fallen off is Shane Lowry. He was in the lead after the third round, but last time I checked, so he's 2 over through 15 and is 6 shots back. So actually, it looks like Austin Eckroat may be in position here to win his first career PGA Tour event. The 25-year-old has one runner-up finish since turning pro in 2021. So far on his final round, he's 4 under through 17 holes, and is currently playing the par 5 18th. But it looks like this is a mere formality as he has a 3-shot lead over Eric Van Rooyen, who's in the clubhouse. Minwoo Lee is on the 18th hole. Cameron Young's in. Jake Knapp is in at 13 under. And then, like I mentioned, Lowry out on the course still, but 2 over and 6 shots back. You had David Skins, who's been on and off the tour for years, missed all of his cuts coming up to this point, is in the top 10 currently on hole 15. So we are wrapping up shortly. Kevin Yu and Victor Perez out there as well. But kind of an interesting week. Rory and Matt Fitzpatrick finish outside the top 20, tied for 21st, which is kind of a surprise. Zach Johnson, the 48-year-old Ryder Cup captain, tied with them as well at 10 under par. Further down the list, Chris Kirk in his title defense shoots 9 under. So right now that's tied for 28th. Matthew Pavone coming into this tournament, leading the FedEx Cup, tied 26 at 9 under. Lucas Glover, 8 under, tied for 34th. Just going through some of the notables. My pick, Ricky Fowler, 7 under, tied for 41st. So, pretty far down there. Tom Kim tied for 62nd. Tony's pick, JT Poston, 66. So second to last of the guys who made the cut. So not exactly, his week. So that's kind of what the deal is there. And it's crazy what a theme this year it has been for the unheralded guy to win these tournaments. It happens almost every week. Jake Knapp just last week.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. How much do you think of it is like the weather kind of screwing with some of these players, you think?
Well, I mean, weather was perfect up until yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I think kind of stuff was already established. And I think, like we've seen, this is a tough course. I mean, that's kind of why, even if you're really good, like Rory McIlroy or Matt Fitzpatrick, you're not going to just breeze to a victory.
Right.
It's not that easy. But really this year, I mean, you think about it, the highest ranked golfer to win must have been Hideki Matsuyama. And I think his rank has fallen in recent years just because of inconsistent performance. But we haven't seen, a big winner up to this point on the PGA Tour. I mean, Chris Kirk. But I would imagine this coming week, the elevated event, Arnold Palmer Invitational, toughest course on the PGA Tour. I would imagine this would be the week maybe that trend breaks. And, we'll do a preview on Wednesday. But, I mean, Scotty Scheffler's got to win again at some point. I mean, it's been a while, almost a full year since he's won.
That's crazy.
But what do you guys think about that? I mean, looking ahead here, loaded field. I mean, do you think that's what we're going to see finally again at the Arnold Palmer, that we're going to see somebody that's an established top 10, top 20 player in the world win that event?
Yeah, I think so too, especially with a lot of these guys coming off of the week, the week break.
Yeah.
So I would say they're well rested, ready to go, and
it really is a lot of a multi-week break because they didn't play Mexico last week as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah, I'm excited to to see that. And like I said, we'll talk about that Wednesday, and if there's any development here, but this is pretty much a formality. Looks like Austin Eckroat will win the first edition of the Cognizant Classic, so we can say it right on the way out here, of course.
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler, a free agent running back for the Chargers. what did so Michael Butka, he's 7 months older than you, and then he says, Kev Do, I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since I fucked with you. Happy 2 weeks of that day. It's actually been over 2 weeks.
It's been over 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been 15 days technically.
We're talking official.
Yeah,
dude, it's kind of crazy. That watch party feels like it was years ago.
It does, honestly.
Years.
I'm so amped up though for the playoffs, for the rest of this regular season. Even the game tonight going to be dope. So,
dude,
can't
huge game.
Wait.
Yeah, Domac said it wasn't gonna be a good game.
Well, really? I didn't know. I didn't have knowledge on the sport.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You gave me the knowledge. You told me that the Panthers are the best team in the league, and I said, yeah, it's a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know, but don't like make me look like I just don't like know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're still getting your feet
That's what I'm
wet
saying. I'm still learning.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying you came in here and you have like somebody. Oh man, like I don't know, Tony, this game's gonna be a sleeper.
Well, I didn't know it was a huge game.
Snooze fest, dude.
Michael Bucka, I just wanted you to say Tatum just one more time. Just the way you said it. He said it's so funny. Did we almost have a disaster?
That Starbucks almost went everywhere.
Didn't though. We got a Tatum though.
I thought he was athletic.
Could we get a Tatum pronunciation though for Michael Bucka?
I just got to tell a quick story. I rushed back here to tell the story.
Yeah, it's always here for just a story. That's it.
Go ahead.
Tony's sad because you and I make the show. Views go up when I'm here, especially obviously you, but he just hates that. Connecticut
of course.
Makes things better.
Yeah, right.
Buckton knows.
Yeah.
He's
jacked up for March Madness.
Yeah.
So talking a lot of trash.
This morning it's 4:50 in the morning. Okay. I go to the locker room to get ready for the sauna.
Yeah.
I got my, I've got like, I sometimes have like the Under Armour leg things underneath the sweats for the winter.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just take the sweats off. I take the hoodie off.
A couple more people have joined since you started talking, by the way.
Yeah, literally.
Just so Tony knows, but continue.
He doesn't want to believe that. So I know, I'm sure you've been to the edge.
Yes.
Have you, Michael?
Yes.
Tony has as well. So when you walk in where like the lockers are, there's like a big gap where you could see like the sinks.
Right.
And there's this dude in there who's just like this, like
he looks like he's doped out pretty much.
He's like this. He's like, and I'm just like, immediately, I'm like, all right, this is going to be like a quick sauna for me. I mean, I don't want to deal with this. It's 4:50 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I try, as I sit to take my pants off, I look up and he's looking at me. Like this. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I freaking do my thing. And I go in the sauna and the door opens and it's not him. And I'm like, oh, thank God. But that alone made me be like, I don't want to be in here.
Right.
I'm doing a 5-minute sauna today. Go out there. And I see him leaned over the sink.
Yeah.
So I quickly glance, pants down, back the other way. Immediate, turn my head back. So he's like, picture this. He's over the sink. Like this. Shirt on. Pants up, right? So immediately I'm like, oh man. And you remember that dude who always wore the mask, the big dude, played at UB, does the weird stretching sometimes?
Yeah.
All right. So we're cool, him and I. Like we've got a common respect. He just like he has a routine, I've noticed.
Right.
You know, Barnes understands that.
Yeah.
And it might not be my routine.
Speaking of routines, actually, just real quick, because you mentioned routines, I can't stand the people in the sauna that need to work out.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Stop.
No,
Please stop.
That's not necessary.
That's so ridiculous.
Luckily, I usually don't have any moments at all, but when they are, they're extreme like this. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. But so I'm sitting down, and all of a sudden, he walks by. There's like the lockers where I'm in, and there's like another area where you can walk to get your weight, go to the bathroom, or come back in the lockers in another doorway.
Yeah.
He goes back in that way, and now he's in there. Poor old guy trying to just put on his shoes, by the way. Pants are off, folks, right? And he's just like doing this whole thing still, looking around. I'm just like quickly like making sure he's not coming to me so I could see him in the periffs. Then that dude walks in.
Uh-huh.
He's immediately, his face is like, yo, you good, my man? Just like that. He goes, I'm not even joking you. This is how he looked at him. Ready? I'm going to do it to the camera, for the camera.
Oh, boy.
And he turned like this. He goes, and walks away. Immediately, that guy walks over to his locker, puts his shit down. He's like taking his stuff off. He's now back at the sink. I'm not even looking at him because I'm just like, I'm out. I'm almost packed up. And he goes, yo, is he over there? I'm like, yeah. He goes, he leaves. I leave. I tell the girl at the front desk, hey, there's this weird dude in the bathroom right now. She tells me her manager's coming in. Manager comes. Cops called. I left.
So, do you think he was doped out?
I don't know. Probably on some sort of thing.
Gotta be on something.
Yeah.
Old man,
no, younger.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this goes back to again though. Everybody's just so annoying.
yeah.
yeah.
Why do we
Definitely
have to
fucked
deal
up.
with
Like,
Why do we have to put up with
definitely,
this?
Dude, pre 5 a.m. Yeah, like that.
Holy
And doing
shit,
this
dude.
weird look at you,
Yeah.
like he's
Yeah,
not
dude.
there.
like he wants you.
Like nobody's home.
Oh, you really?
I don't know, like
You think it
combo,
was that
nobody's
sort of
home,
thing?
combo.
Wait, I guess you're always in there early, so you don't really
Right.
get the jump ropers, the heavy breathers.
None of that. None of that.
People are
Okay.
jump roping in the
Yes,
sauna.
the
Yeah.
weights.
Yeah.
But it's always the.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I can't. You're what are you doing? I don't get it.
I don't think there's a need to do all that extra
No.
cardio stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like just sit there.
Yeah.
Just sit there, take it, sweat it out,
That's-
do your thing.
Yeah. Everything
Yeah.
okay, Tony?
What?
Oh, just making sure.
Yeah,
okay.
he's a little shook.
That's a pretty crazy story, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. But hey, life goes on, right?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Before-
Wait, so did you
Sure.
interact with the cops, or you
No,
left
no.
before they got there?
No
No,
interview?
No interview.
Yeah. Can I get a statement, please?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
yeah,
funny.
we'll see. I'll see maybe in the news or I'll ask the
Wow,
the
Matt
woman
had
tomorrow.
to tell a guy at the sauna Y to take the dumbbells out last week, so he deals with this as well.
That's crazy.
Senior director.
Yeah,
That must be annoying to be a worker there and have to deal with these people.
Well, and you see
know?
idiots doing idiot things, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
certified and everything, and you're like, you're an idiot.
right, like
You
you
know?
are an idiot.
yeah. And he says that's insane. Gave us the hardest time. Why? Give me a reason. Come on.
Yeah, he kept saying that, but Matt's probably just it's just policy. Like you can't just have that in.
Because if you don't, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. It doesn't really ever happen rare occurrence. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yep, what a play! Stop it, Yep. And Alonso cracks one. The Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So the big news coming out this morning, pitcher Zach Wheeler and the Philadelphia Phillies, a 3-year, $126 million
Are you
contract
kidding?
extension. And with this extension, it is the highest annual value on a contract extension. And it's just short in terms of pitcher salary of Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander's
Crazy.
deals with the Mets at $43.3 million. This year, Wheeler is entering the final season of a 5-year, $118 million deal with the Phillies. And he has a 3.06 ERA in his first 4 seasons in Philadelphia, 675 strikeouts, 629 and a third innings. And he also, won a Gold Glove in 2021 and last season. So has been a great pitcher since coming over to Philadelphia. Obviously, you saw him up close, Tony, the first part of his career. Seems like a no-brainer for the Phils. I know they haven't, accomplished anything in the postseason, but you don't let a guy like Zach Wheeler go.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because that's exactly what the Mets did.
Right.
They did let him go. She was in the Mets for 4 seasons, maybe.
No, but I think it's
6
6
seasons.
because isn't
6
it his
seasons.
full he
Yeah,
might have
yeah.
missed a year with
Right. No,
Tommy
he
John.
did miss a year. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we probably 5 full seasons there with the Mets. Honestly, I don't know. Up and down, I feel like his seasons were it was
with the Mets.
with the Mets. Yeah. Like it was kind of up and down, inconsistent. But again, I mean, it takes time for pitchers to develop, I guess. but I want to say his last season with the Mets, it was like probably in the threes his ERA. I want to say
3.96, 11-8.
Yeah, which isn't it's serviceable,
Right.
And again, they just kind of let him walk, so that was always kind of weird to me. But obviously, moving on from that, for the Phillies standpoint, you mentioned that 2021 season. I want to say that season 2 was probably high in the Cy Young contention. Definitely talked about it a lot. Had, I think, a couple complete games that year. That was the year that was really like I was like, oh, like the Mets really should have kept this guy.
Yeah, because his first full season in Philadelphia, 2.78 ERA,
Mhm.
14-10, and had 247 strikeouts and 213 innings.
His first season was it the COVID year?
COVID year,
It was COVID year.
292. For some reason, I thought he had won the Cy Young, but I guess he finished second. Trying to think who beat him out. But it would have said in that article if he had won the Cy Young.
Yeah, I know he never did.
Yeah, but I guess
so. This was you're talking 2021.
Probably was runner-up, I'm guessing.
Cy Young in 2021.
Or maybe he was runner-up to Trevor Bauer in 2020. I think that's probably what it was.
Oh, yeah?
When he was on Cincinnati, Trevor Bauer.
Yeah.
What
do you got?
Corbin Burns. Zach Wheeler's second. Okay, that's what it was. So different year with Bauer.
Corbin Burns, dude.
And Zach Wheeler, Tony, actually missed 2 full seasons, 2015 and 2016. So that's why his career.
Okay, so it
shorter.
was like 4 seasons with the Mets.
So
basically.
yeah, I guess 5 seasons, and I mean really 3 full seasons. So it was. That's why it seems so short. Obviously, he's already 33 years old.
I know.
He's going to turn 34 this year.
Kind of crazy to think about that.
Yeah, but I think it's just, 3.61 last year, but 212 strikeouts, 108 ERA. The guy pitches. Obviously, you don't have many pitchers that approach 200 innings these days. So,
Right.
Even given that, I think you had to extend him. What do you think there?
Absolutely. And I want to say that was probably last year was probably his worst year as a Philly, honestly. So it's like, how do you not extend this guy? Lock him down. Why not? He'll retire as a Philly probably, which is great. And again, he could go back to, the first couple of years like he was as a Philly pitcher. If that's the case, obviously that bodes well for Philadelphia. So, and I feel like even if you're kind of maybe not sure about it, he would probably go somewhere else and then be good.
Yeah.
So, got to lock him up. Do you think it's too much money?
Kind of is the going rate these days.
Yeah, right. So what are you gonna do?
Do you think, I don't know if it's just a perception or it's the fact that, home runs are up, in the last 20 years. Do you think that there's as little dominant pitchers as there's ever been since we started watching baseball?
Yeah, I would say so, I guess.
Because when you think of it, you think of Garrett Cole.
Mhm.
I guess DeGrom when he's healthy.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just trying to think, I'm blanking almost. Zach Wheeler's up there.
Zach Wheeler's definitely up there. I guess you could say that, maybe even Verlander, you could try and argue that he still has got what it takes.
Steven Strider.
Oh, yeah, the Spencer Strider.
Spencer Strider,
yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think who else
Corbin
is really
Burns, but he's not great, Tony. But right when you say he's not great.
Yeah, it's not like 11 Ks, 12 Ks. You don't see that often, I feel like.
Kershaw
from him.
is injured.
Yeah, Kershaw, the injury bug, dude.
Glass now injury bug.
Yeah, same deal. Yeah, dude.
So,
even
we
if
don't put Shohei in this conversation just because he's not dominant.
Injury.
Even him though,
Injured.
he doesn't pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't pitch a full season.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think. So, and then Blake Snell again.
Blake Snell, iffy.
Not great.
Yeah.
And that he won the Cy Young.
Same thing with
year.
a lot of those guys. Darvish, not great. Musgrove, not great.
I'm trying to think. Framber Valdez, not great. I always want to just look up stats from last year. I'm completely blanking.
Christ,
who else?
Who's the guy
Alcantara,
from?
but he's out for the
Sandy,
year, and he wasn't good last year.
Yeah, I think he had a bad year last year, right?
This past season? Yes.
Yeah.
Not good. 2 years ago, he was like.
No, yeah. 2 years ago, he did really well. But then this year, he completely folded.
Yeah. Totally folded.
Kevin Gausman was great.
Right.
Even the last couple of years. Before that, he wasn't considered that type of guy. And really, I was pushed out the door with the Braves at one point.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm just looking at stat leaders and stuff, Sonny Gray's up there. But again, not great.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pablo Lopez had a great year last year, but again, you know what I mean? It's just these guys, you know, they're not Hall of Famers. Logan Webb, pretty good, but boy, I really think it's like by far the least talent we've seen.
Especially like, I mean, coming off this past year too, I feel like this season specifically.
Yeah.
You know, like you mentioned, like Sonny Gray is leading some of the stats here. It's like where is he coming from? You know?
You know what's kind of nuts?
What's nuts, dude?
2 former Mets in the top 5 last year. Quality starts. Who are they?
2 former Mets, you say? I mean, I guess Zach Wheeler would be one of them.
Okay. I don't think you're gonna get this other one. You're gonna be kind of surprised.
Is it like when you say former Met, like they started there?
Yeah, they've played like at least 1 full season there.
Oh, that's okay. I would imagine it's someone older.
When I say it, you're gonna be tight.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like his tenure didn't end great, and then like he's kind of pitched better since.
His tenure didn't end great. Well, I mean, isn't that like every pitcher, really?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Who is it?
Bassett.
Oh, fuck, that's right. He was doing well.
3.60 last year.
Chris Bassett.
Yeah, and the guys like with quality starts, Jordan Montgomery again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we see him as great.
I feel like his Met tenure didn't end terribly, Chris Bassett.
Well, but his ERA was like 14.
Yeah, it just wasn't great.
I think second half
half was implosion.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of like, we got to move on from you, which is tough, dude. And again, of course, goes to like where's Toronto? Where's he right now?
Yeah, he's in Toronto. Yeah. You know, Mitch Keller's up there, same kind of thing. Merrill Kelly. I do like Luis Castillo and Logan Gilbert though, but I don't know. It's like it seems. Do you think there's like just like a gap in like in terms of age and generations that like we haven't developed as many pitchers as we used to?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, do you think that maybe some like I don't know the youth, the baseball youth, is a little bit hesitant to become a pitcher because of injury?
Could be, but also they do get the big money deals.
Yeah.
So you know, what do you think about Zach Gallen? Do you think he's like really good or
Zach Gallen?
Yeah.
I would say so. Diamondbacks, yeah. Definitely. I mean, I feel like jury's still. How old is he?
I think he's only like 26.
Right, he's pretty
27.
young, dude. So I mean, I think he has some time to even like further prove himself too. But I got no complaints from right now. I mean, I feel like 28.
Yeah.
The only thing, like, I feel like Diamondbacks postseason pitching was a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Right for them.
Merrill Kelly.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you look at this. And Dylan Cease 4.58 last year, but I would expect him to be a lot better this year.
Yeah, you would think so. Rangers.
No, White Sox.
Oh, he's back on the White Sox.
No, he's still on. He's never
White
left.
Sox.
Yeah, always was on the White Sox. It's like the mustache, like the thin. I guess it's a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, it is.
He throws hard.
Oh, I'm thinking of Dane Dunning. That's what I'm thinking of. It's Dylan Cease. Oh, Dylan Cease. I don't know actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I don't know if I have much confidence in him, to be honest.
Really? So you wouldn't trade Mike Vassell for him? I almost got that off with the straight face.
Yeah,
what do you think about Michael
God,
here?
dude.
Saying Barnes laughed so hard at the Mets sucking. I mean, I wouldn't say that that's 100% true.
I would say it's 100% accurate.
The 2 times I've seen you laugh the hardest, I'm not kidding, we're both related to the Mets. Like last week or the week before, we were talking about the Mets, and you were laughing so hard. Like it's the only thing that gets you this like laughing.
You know, what I would say though is Tony knows. Like if there is something like to give credit with the Mets, I will do it though. If it's out there,
Yeah.
I don't dispute. Like if something good happens, I don't like downplay it. I really don't. It's just clearly like not much since the beginning of last season. There's been to cheer about other than Francisco Alvarez. I'm trying to think. What else would you say like sticks out to you in terms of like something you're excited about with them
For this season?
Yeah.
Honestly, like any prospect.
Okay.
Any and every prospect.
Who do you think though, like of those kind of guys that just came up last year, who's the most likely to break out in your eyes? Other than Alvarez.
Yeah.
It's tough
Again,
because I know
it is tough, but probably just looking at this spring training alone, I would say Brett Beatty's ready to go.
you like all-star level.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you projecting him this year? Like, is he a power guy, average?
No, he's gonna hit more for average, I think, but I think it's gonna be like 290s.
Really?
Yeah.
Can he still hit 20 or is he like a 15?
Yeah, I'll give him maybe 21.
Which isn't too bad. And if he's gonna hit 290, I mean that's pretty good.
Exactly. I want average, consistent defense too. Great defense.
And then what about Vientos? Any expectations there?
No, I mean, I don't know. My expectations for him are kind of low. Just because I don't know, it's tough to see where he's gonna be in terms of starting. I mean, I guess it's the DH spot.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, a young player coming up, put at the DH spot. If I'm them, I'm thinking like, all right, like I'm kind of playing half this game here. I don't really have a room on the field right now. I can have a bat that could be good. I don't know. I feel like it could be kind of demeaning to a young player coming up to the organization here. But obviously, I would love to see him do well. But my expectations, again, are pretty low. I would imagine that DH spot would be a little bit of a revolving door. So, we'll see.
I get like too, you want to give young guys a shot, and especially you want to see if Vientos can play. But I still just don't get why they wouldn't just sign JD Martinez. Because like if he is good, then you could trade him at the deadline if you're out of it.
I know.
And I would think he would help some of the younger hitters as well.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
I can't believe he's not signed. And I've just seen an article on here.
What do we got?
Maybe a reunion with the Tigers. They're trying to contend this year. But it's crazy that he's still out there. We talked about it yesterday, Domac, at the Horseshoe. What did you think about Chapman, the 3 years, $54 million for the Giants? I mean, do you think that makes any sense? Or are you kind of down on him?
I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like at some point someone's got to just call it for him and be like, dude, like this is like we're done. It's like I don't know. I just don't see what value is he really bringing to the Giants? Like throwing 100. I mean,
no, Matt Chapman.
Oh my God! I don't know why.
Geraldus is with Pittsburgh.
Oh, my bad. Man, I'm out of it. I mean, I don't know.
Where are you?
Maybe it'll be good for them, but honestly, at the same time, when it comes to the Giants, it's like, what are they? I just don't understand what the Giants are doing. Like I
what's
feel
the
like
vision?
That's what I'm saying. Like, when they're sitting down at the table, like, what are they like planning out here? Like, I just don't. Like, I feel like the pieces they move and like way they've gone about it the last 2 seasons, like especially when like the stories come out that like you had Aaron Judge and then all of a sudden you lose them. It's like I don't know.
Crazy day.
But
like,
I think they were out leveraged though. There, honestly.
I mean, yeah, but
who reported that first?
Heyman.
Well, it was
Arson.
Heyman. Yeah.
Arson Judge.
That's so terrible, dude, that he did that.
But I mean, also too, guys. I mean, don't you think with San Francisco, it's like they would look a lot better if it wasn't such a deterrent to sign there? I feel like that's what's holding them back more than anything.
I mean, definitely that doesn't help players come.
Right.
They probably just look at that front office. They're like, dude, I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like if I look at that front office, like why would I want to be a part of that?
And I mean, like honestly, the roster, like we went through it. I mean, like what
even is there?
What are we looking at?
I don't know. I mean, Conforto.
Again, Conforto, JD Davis, Wilmer
Soler.
Flores, Soler, you got,
Has
I guess.
power.
Like, are there any big, like, how many big names are like looking at that line and they're like, I want to play with these dudes?
Yeah.
And I think the park honestly detracts like free agent like position players because I mean you got to really put it out to get one out of there,
Yeah, true. That's so annoying.
And then the division too. The division is tough.
Oh my God, yeah, forget about it. I mean, they're not making the playoffs.
But I mean, they're not the worst team in the division. I mean, do you think they have any chance to contend like with the Padres, or do you think the Padres will be a decent amount better despite all the guys that they lost this year?
I mean, the only thing that I feel like I guess offense was probably their biggest issue in terms of the Giants. Their scoring was tough. So I guess if they find a way to score, then sure, they can compete with the Padres.
Yeah.
But they got to get this. They have to start hitting good pitchers. Like,
and obviously I forget Lee, the outfielder. What's his name again?
Oh, Hung-Jo Lee.
Hung-Jo Lee.
Hung-Jo Lee. Yeah.
I mean, he has to be like an on base machine. I don't think he's a power guy, but if he's hitting 300, getting on base, hitting the ball in the gaps, like we said, big park over there. So there is an opportunity there. Domek, have you caught any of the Yankee spring training games?
No, but I've been looking at the stat line, and I've also, hold on, but let me clarify. I also
Yeah.
haven't seen it because the certain games, like how many have been on Yes?
Probably
A
at this
lot,
point 4 or
right?
5, but they're usually 1:00
Yeah.
during the week.
1:00 during the week.
Yeah.
I'm in school.
Right.
I got class in the
Right.
afternoon. I'm a Yankee fan. I'll turn on the game.
Yeah.
It's just those games, especially like when the season starts, those 1:00 games while I'm still in school, like they're tough to watch. Like I gotta watch it like on my phone or something like that. Like, I'm not gonna have time to sit down and watch it. But when I'm looking at like the stat lines, I'm seeing how everyone's playing. Like I'm pretty content with our starting pitching. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Nestor
honestly,
with a big
that's what I'm
bounce back
saying.
performance
Nestor with a
yesterday.
great game. Like I'm honestly, I feel like I think we're gonna be good. Like normally I feel like there's always like something to point to. And I mean, so far with the starting pitchers, which was like I feel like our big question. I mean, I feel like there's not many questions now. Now it's just like go out and prove it.
Right.
Like you show us in spring training, like against like the easier competition.
Yeah.
You're still there. Like now it's just you just got to prove it. Like there's nothing really else to say.
You think they were going to prove it?
I think so.
Hmm.
I honestly, I think people undervalue how much of a leader I think Aaron Judge is.
Right.
And
Right.
I think like it'll show this year that now they have all this talent. You still need someone to lead the team. Like it happens with a lot of like really good teams. You have all this talent, but if you got no leader, like those are all those teams that have all this talent but fail so miserably.
Right.
So I think him there as a leader, I think will be phenomenal, especially with Han Soto. I mean, 5 for 7 so far, 3 home runs.
Having a good
like,
time doing it.
I don't think you could play better spring ball than that. Like,
Yeah, and obviously, yes, it just spring, but nice to see. I mean, that's how you want to start out. You want him to be in his groove. And then how about Rizzo hitting 2 home runs in Friday night?
Dude.
Nice to see that.
Yeah,
dude.
So yeah, no, I feel really good about the offense. For sure. I feel like it's just so deep, so many options that they have. But tonight they're going to be playing 6:40 Steinbrenner Field. Clark Schmidt getting the start versus AJ Puck, the former reliever for the A's. He's now on the Marlins. And I think this might be
all-time classic, Tony.
Is it on the app? Or no, this is at the Marlins Park. So this actually isn't on TV, which is annoying because the one night game that there is.
My opinion with spring
annoying.
training is I feel like their games should be like way more televised. Like I feel like they're the only preseason that gains, in my opinion, the most attention. And I feel like if you put these games on, a lot of people would watch them than like you think, or at least a lot of people watch them. Like I feel like the viewership for like an NFL. I mean, maybe I could be wrong because I'm not the biggest NFL fan, but I don't think I've ever watched an NFL preseason game. I don't think I've ever watched maybe 1 or 2 NBA preseason games. Like I feel like this is the only sport where preseason, maybe because it's like I feel like it's a little bit longer and extended, like that would get like a good viewership where like you'd be able to put it on TV, or at least not even no one's saying like put them on like ESPN, but like put them on like put them on like your normal like whatever home network it is for whatever team is the home team. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't see the point of not,
especially because there's not a lot of programming on those networks this time of year. Those networks were built for the prospective teams.
Yeah, what's going on? Like, what is going on Yes Network right now? Yankees Classic, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Some
you need to watch
betting, some stupid betting show.
Like,
Yeah, their shows are bad, dude. Some of their shows, even on SNY too. I'm like, oh my god.
The Michael K show.
Like, where do they even find these guys?
I don't know. What do they even like? What do you even talk about for all that time?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Just put on the game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Especially, you understand maybe why like ESPN, isn't getting involved and stuff. But yeah, they definitely should. Did you see too? Maybe he'll pitch tomorrow against the Mets. That's actually an ESPN game, and I see Tyler McGill will start that game tomorrow. But maybe Rodon will pitch again. But did you see like I guess he gave up like in a sim game, he gave up like 4 straight home runs or something. Rodon,
really?
But I thought he
I
looked
didn't
good
see that, but that's so funny.
Though, honestly.
No, he did play well, but that's funny.
Yeah,
4 home runs is crazy.
I don't know. I'm going into it cautiously optimistic. And like I said, Nestor only 1 home run allowed yesterday. Other than that, he retired everybody. He had a bunch of strikeouts. So good to see that as well. Stroman had a nice outing over the weekend too. I think 4 scoreless.
Yep.
So I feel good there. So overall, it'll be good. And then I did have up here too. Like I said, Clark Schmidt will be getting the start, and then they had the lineup here, and I believe they're going with Volpe to lead off, which I like to see. I know it seems like it's kind of a formality that LeMahieu gets started. So Volpe, Grisham at DH, Glaber at second, Wells catching. Cabrera in right, Pereira in left, Rojas at first, Van Meter at third, and Spencer Jones getting the start.
Spencer Jones.
Dude, I love Spencer
I'm
Jones.
so excited for Spencer
playing
Jones.
in center field. Did you see? I saw the clip. The last game of him track it down in the gap at the wall, sprints over to catch it, and when he catches it, like normally when you cover a lot of ground like that, like you either run into the wall, or like you could see body language wise that like you're really just putting yourself out there, like exerting yourself, and he just like catches it and just like stops, like it was like a routine like fly ball, while it was like literally the deepest part of the gap that you could get to. Like it was crazy to me.
Yeah, no, he's really athletic. It's
at 6'6" too. Like Jesus.
Yeah. So no, we're excited to see what he's gonna become. So yeah, they'll be on at 6:40. Mets, who are they playing today?
I think they're off today.
Oh, Monday
They're
is
off
the off
today?
day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so back in action against the Yankees.
Yeah, that's right. Tomorrow.
So excited to see that.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts too if you think about it. The season's even closer than it feels because I think the Korea series is on the 20th.
Oh, you're right.
Padres,
Yeah.
Dodgers
Dodgers in
16
Korea.
days.
You want to go?
No. You guys think it's kind of, I don't know, like kind of dumb how they do that and then counter for the regular season and it's like so far ahead of the other. What they like while spring training is going on.
Yeah,
those
it shouldn't
games are
be
being
like
played.
that, dude. It should be a spring training game.
Just have have an exhibition there because like the Yankees are playing in Mexico City.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I think it should definitely be exhibition. I don't see the point.
I don't know why they mix it, but
And it's they're going to South Korea, right? That's where it is.
I
Definitely.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That'd be crazy if it wasn't.
North Korea, dude. We're playing in North Korea.
By the
Oh,
way, Austin Eckroat par at 18, so he's in the clubhouse and the winner of the Cognizant Classic here, 17 under par. So congratulations to him on his first career PGA Tour win. Exciting stuff there. Like I said, we'll talk Arnold Palmer on Wednesday. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle quick. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide. Made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So a ton of games over the weekend yesterday. And, we talked mostly about Friday and Saturday. Rangers' tough loss on Saturday to Toronto. Obviously off yesterday, back in action at home against Florida, which should be a really good game later at the Garden. 7 o'clock puck drop there.
Throw a couple shekels up
so
there.
So actually, first thing I would like to do is just because we had a ton of Friday, Saturday action. If you could assist me, Tony, on updating the picks here.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna take
Starting
my
on
phone out
Friday
here.
night.
Yes, of course. So Friday night, dude. Actually, yeah, I always got Domax got it up right here. So let's go.
All right.
First game, ready to go. Let's go.
Coyotes in the under, so that's 1-1, right?
1-1.
Flyers in the under, that's
0.
0. So 1-3.
1-3.
Ducks in the over, so that's
3-3.
Okay, and then on the Saturday,
This is for you.
yeah.
All right, 3-3 going into Saturday, dude.
Okay, Hurricanes in the under, that's 3-5. Panthers in the over, that's 4-6.
Okay.
Oilers in the over, that's 5-7. Blues in the under, that's 7-7. And then the Avalanche in the over, that wasn't 5.5, right?
No, it was not. So 7-9.
7-9.
Mhm.
And then the Knights in the under,
7-11.
Rangers in the over,
8-12.
Lightning in the under,
9-13.
Flyers in the over. Wasn't 5.5.
Diff to check. Hit the box score.
Yep.
We're at 9-13.
Yeah.
So this is going to be. Scroll down. What does it say?
6.5.
6.5.
So 10-15.
10 and
Or
15.
10-14. Sorry.
Yeah. Islanders in the under. That was a 6.5, I believe, right?
Islanders in the under. Yes, definitely 6.5.
So 12 and 14.
Yeah.
And then Blackhawks in the under. 12 and 16. Stars in the under.
Oh, Domac.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. 12 and 16. Stars and the under.
Yes, 14
and 16.
And then the
Penguins
in the under. 14
and 18. 14 and 18.
All right.
there.
So after a really good start with the record, 14 and 18 over the weekend. So
yeah, let's
that
do it
gets
again.
us
We gotta
to
do it again for me
51
now. Yeah.
and 41. So let me just write that down and then we'll
Wait,
go to
51
you.
and 41?
Yeah.
Okay, still an overall good record.
So
Oh, man.
all right. And then we'll get to Tony. Okay, so
Yeah.
Coyotes in the over.
That's 2-0.
Flyers in the over.
3-1.
Ducks in the over.
5-1.
Jets in the under.
Hold on, we get to the next page here. Let's take it easy. 6-2.
And then the Panthers in the under.
8-2.
Oilers in the over.
9-1. Sorry, 9-3.
Blues in the over.
10-4.
Avalanche in the over. Avalanche in the under. I'm sorry.
Avalanche in the under. 11-5.
Sabres in the over.
13-5.
Rangers in the over.
14-6.
Lightning in the over.
16-6.
Flyers in the under.
We said that was 6.5, right?
Mhm.
So 18-6.
Bruins in the over.
18-8.
Blue Jackets in the under.
19-9.
Stars in the under.
21-9.
Flames in the over.
23-9.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
So taking
Oh my
charge here.
God.
So 56. So that's already 5 more wins there. And then it was 9 was the losses.
Yeah.
So 56 and 36.
Let's
Wow,
go,
look at
dude.
that, dude.
I gotta start betting.
Yeah, let's say, dude, you guys should start.
But
throwing down
even with
money.
me with that tough stretch, 51 and 41. I mean,
It's so
that's
great,
up
dude.
10
Not bad.
units.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez. Ryan McNeil's route too.
What did Ryan McNeil say?
He said, "Hi D ho downtime TV."
Hi, Ryan. We're just talking about you, dude. What Michael Theofil, he has some comments in there
Yeah,
too.
dude,
Let's get to some Michael
First of all,
Theofil, dude.
he's making jokes about how Barnes is laughing so hard at the Mets.
Oh
Then
my
he said
gosh.
Bitcoin 66,000,
Yep, there we go.
and then he said Michael hasn't seen any Yankees games because he's more of a Boston sports fan, or is it Philly because he can't remember. Thinks he's funny.
Get called out.
Tony's mother saying that the Mets will win.
Thanks, Mom.
And that's about it.
that's
She said
basically
also
what we
said
got.
hello, but
That's it.
that was it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and really, I mean, from kind of where we were at the sports port last night at the Horseshoe, Wilds end up defeating the Sharks 4-3. Kaprizov, Tony, the Josh B hat trick.
Classic. Love to see it, dude.
They've been hanging in there, and I guess they said they're not going to trade Marc-Andre Fleury.
Good for them.
But I still think they're going to be on the outside looking in, and I think that
Trying
they
to see.
should trade as many veterans as they can, because it's just, you're not going to the playoffs. What's the point? You know, what are we going for? You know, like a 500 season?
Yeah. I don't think they will be making the playoffs. Looking at the teams that are ahead of them: Calgary, Nashville, St. Louis, even LA too. I mean, it's probably just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you look at that team in general. 2 seasons ago, they were like in the playoffs. You know, like potentially could be going far. Fumbles in the playoffs, really can't recover, I guess. So yeah, I agree with you. Get rid of as many veterans as you can while they're still good. And try and retool a little bit. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know how much more time Marc-Andre Fleury has in the league. I mean, obviously he's proven himself, certainly. You're the goaltender, Gustafsson. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of inconsistent in my eyes. So I don't know, I think there's a lot of work to be done if you're looking to be like a competitive team and going deep in the playoffs. I mean, they need several pieces, dude, several. So, I guess we'll kind of see what they do. It is interesting that they're going to stay put at the trade deadline. Like you said, you would imagine that they would be sellers. But I guess they are kind of on the fringe team. You never know. But still, I mean, I think that they should make some moves, dude.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. It's just like, what is it? Just out of thin air, they're expecting to take off.
Seems like it, dude.
And you mentioned Marc-Andre Fleury, his former team, the Penguins, gets shellacked last night, 6-1 in Edmonton. Zach Hyman, seemingly on a heater, Tony. Another 2 goals, so he's up to 42 on the season.
Yeah.
McDavid found the back of the net, his 23rd. Corey Perry, his 8th.
Right.
And McLeod, his 10th. So a solid win here. And they even had Calvin Pickard, the backup tender.
Pickard.
In that. So solid. Edmonton up to 37-20. And I know you've had concerns, the goalies, with them. But I mean, if it was you and you were the general manager for Edmonton, I mean, you would get, I feel like, some back checking forward, bruising defender. I mean, that would be your play here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the big, I guess, like holes in Edmonton's game there. Obviously, we know they can score, certainly take advantage of an older Penguins team. So good job there. Did Jari get the start for the Penguins?
So starting in net for the Penguins was Nedeljkovic.
Oh, yeah.
He used to be on Detroit, right?
I think so, yeah. So, I mean, regardless, backup tender too. But yeah, you need I need someone who's physical, who's a bruiser, who can play defense. Because I mean that's where they need their help, and their tenders could certainly use that help as well. So, but I guess good for them. I mean, Hyman's been a heater right now. He's been on a heater all season, dude.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what they do, for the deadline. Rangers back in action tonight.
Let's go, baby.
And before we get into our frenzy here, just specifically with this game, obviously tough loss in Toronto over the weekend. Can we go daily face-off, Tony? Do we have a check on Igor Shesterkin? I don't know if quick,
new tab, daily
celebration, of the
daily
contract extension.
Yeah, see what we got here.
Maybe he gets the start. But,
starting goalies.
The way things have been going, you would think that it would be Igor.
Let's see here. Keep scrolling, looking for
Igor
the Rangers.
Likely, but not confirmed.
Likely, it will be Igor, dude. Listen, this is a big game, dude. I'm pumped for this game.
Big game. Last time these teams played, Panthers won 4-3 back on December 29th. So the Rangers out for some vengeance here. Florida, we've talked about it. One of the top scoring teams in the league. Brovsky on fire. What do you think? Are they playing Florida going into this any differently? What's the game plan here?
I mean, yes, certainly. I think Florida, I've talked about it a lot this season. They're a little bit of an outlying team where they rely on a lot of physicality to win games. And I mean, because of that, they do win games. But I mean, I think by far, the Rangers are a more skilled team from top to bottom, whether from goaltending to checking to forechecking to scoring to passing. I mean, they are a far better team than the Florida Panthers, and they have a game that can beat how the Panthers kind of, I guess, approach games. I mean, look, I understand the Panthers obviously are one of the best teams in the league right now. They're having a great season. A lot of players on their team are having a great season. And they're on a 4-game win streak, I think. But I mean, look at their past 4 games. I think they've had to beat, the Kraken in a shootout. I think maybe even the Canadiens in overtime. They're not like decisive wins. A lot of these wins that the Panthers get are gritty, coming down to the last minute, 1-goal games. And that's their game. That's great. They play to their strengths, which is fine. But like I said, I think the Rangers have the speed. They also have the physicality now too. I mean, Matt Rempe is going to be on the ice looking to crack some skulls. And you mentioned that the Panthers lost or beat the Rangers
4-3 back on December
29th. That was probably a quick start. I want to say it definitely was, if memory serves me. Kakko was still out. You had Tyler Pitlick, Nick Bonino, in the lineup. I mean, the Rangers they have a different team now, kind of. Right. A lot of different guys. Obviously, Igor's playing well too. So I don't know. I think that last game isn't really indicative of how the Rangers could play against the Panthers. But like I said, if they stick to their game, play with speed, get some of those stretch passes going, or even some of those quick shorter passes to avoid the checks, the body checks of the Panthers, that's going to be your key there. The Panthers play the body a lot. You have to move the puck quicker than the man, which is definitely easier to do in hockey. And then on top of that, I think probably one key that the Rangers need to improve upon is their power play. I think if you even go back to that game against the Panthers, they were 0 for 2 in the power play. And it was still, it's a 1-goal game. Like, you have to be converting on these chances. So you got to do that. And obviously a big reason why, you're 0 for 2 in the power play is because you have Bobrovsky in between the pipes for Florida, who's just been, stellar. We talked about older goaltenders being killer. He's 35, I think. Having some of the best stats in terms of goaltending around the NHL. So you got to find a way to get some buys in front of the net and get some deflection goals, because he's probably going to be on his game. And again, that's where maybe your physicality comes in. Kreider in front of the net. I love seeing Matt Rempe in front of the net. You have to get ways to screen Bobrovsky, and then get pucks to the net without him, having some good reaction time. So very doable. A lot has to go right. I mean, you got to come out here. It's not going to be easy. Like I said,
you have to be buttoned up.
You have to be buttoned up. You can't be coming out flat-footed, okay? Because that's what the Panthers literally feed on.
Right.
So and I would imagine Laviolette is going to be firing up, in the locker room, So I'm confident. I think the Panthers are favored. I think a minus 120, which I think is atrocious, dude. Hammer the Rangers. I think it's a lock. I think it's a lock, Brian.
I can't wait to see it. And it's an important stretch of games here, starting with the game on Saturday against Toronto, because you're off all this week. You're home to St. Louis and the Devils before you're on the road. Carolina, Tampa, Pittsburgh, home for the Islanders, the Jets, and then you're at Boston, home to Florida, home to Philadelphia, and then at Colorado. So a lot of quality opponents mixed in there, but it's nice. I do feel like we're at a point, and it hasn't always been this in previous years, where not really afraid of playing anybody. And it seems like we almost play our best games against the best opponents.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, these guys definitely rise to the occasion to play. And a lot of that is because of coaching and leadership. So, I mean, you have to see a tightly knit group of guys.
But it is time for our hockey frenzy.
Right, Domac, if you can bring up tonight's games for me, that would be great here on this Monday around the National Hockey League, March 4th. Let's start off in Toronto, Michael, as the Maple Leafs are taking on the Boston Bruins. Toronto here, minus 130. The over-under, actually, I get the over-under up on my phone. How about that? That would be a good. Has to be 6.5. There it is. Sorry, guys. 6.5. We know it. Both these two teams, absolute bruisers. Brewers are on a little bit of the schneid, though. What do you think is going to happen here, Brian?
Yeah, give me the team that is playing a lot better, and that is the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Absolutely.
Obviously, big win against the Rangers last time out. I think in this game, they're going to be aggressive. There's going to be a lot of shots. I expect Austin Matthews with a couple goals. And I think rule of thumb, when I see a Maple Leafs game, I always take the over. So I like that. But give me Toronto at home here, 5-3.
Toronto. I'm going to agree with the Toronto call, but I say give me the under. Samsonov has been absolutely killing it. I don't know who's getting the nod there for the Bruins, but whoever it is, Swayman or Ullmark, it's going to be a very well-played game in terms of goaltending. So I say give me Toronto. They edge it out 3-1, maybe empty netter at the end there. Next game up, the game we all want, just been talking about, the Rangers back home, MSG taking on the Panthers here. Panthers first in the league. 9-1 in their last 10. Rangers 8-1 and a shootout loss in their last 10. So both of these two teams very hot. We just kind of previewed it here. Rangers even. Florida minus 120 on the road. Over under is at 5.5. So expecting Bobrovsky and Igor to have great starts. What do you think is going to happen here, Brian?
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be tough. I think it's going to go to overtime. Hopefully not a shootout, because then things seem to get a little crazy for us. But I think a lot of scoring, maybe even a lot of scoring early. I can see it being 2-2 after one, but then being 3-3 at the end of regulation. And as he has all season long, Artemi Panarin.
Yes.
The hero once again for the chat. He is going to hit The game winner here.
In OT.
Rangers 4, Panthers 3 in overtime.
So he's taking the Rangers and the over. I can't tell you the last time a Rangers game was set at 5.5 the over-under odds. I can't remember.
Sketchy.
It's a very sketchy spot. But I don't know. I think, obviously give me Rangers all day, every day. Josh Beef at the mortgage and the money line. Let's go, dude. But I think it will go under at 5.5. I think both these two teams play physical game, have the great goaltending, will struggle to score. So I say Rangers also in overtime struggling, but obviously Rangers having that space, using their speed, it'll be over 1-1 stalemate going into overtime, and then it'll be Mika Zibanejad with the game-winning goal, first minute of overtime, and he fucking locks it in, baby. Give me the Rangers win this one 2-1 in OT. Next game up, we're going to Philadelphia here, still 7 p.m. The Flyers, John Tortorella taking on the St. Louis Blues here. Philly minus 135 on the road here. Kind of surprising, at home here. Kind of surprising they're not favorited. Over under also 5.5. Brian, what do you think's going to happen here for John Tortorella?
Jacked up here for the chat. But yeah, I just think Flyers are the better team. They've played well at home. And I think the Blues, I don't like the direction of that team. I think some trades need to be made. Maybe Buchnevich, Tony, will get traded before the deadline on Thursday. But a tight game. My first under of the night. 3-2 Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center.
Give me the Flyers, obviously, here. I think that they're the better team here. Obviously, great goaltending, great playing, great coaching. I say this hammers the over, though. I feel like there's going to be a high amount of goals here in this game. Give me the Flyers winning, though. I'll say 5-3. Why not, dude? Next game up, we have the Blue Jackets in Columbus taking on your Las Vegas Golden Knights. Over-under here is at 6.5. Columbus Blue Jackets plus 150 over there at home. Kind of thought it'd be maybe plus more money, but nonetheless, Vegas minus 175 on the road here. Look at these two teams, their last 5 games. Both teams on the schneid. Vegas dropping 4 of their last 5 games. Not good, dude. The first time these two teams are playing each other. You think Vegas bounces back, Ryan?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Don't like the direction of this team. Really have faltered in the second half. Lincoln's Tony playing like he's playing against the New York Rangers in this one. A shock of the night. The Columbus Blue Jackets defeat the Golden Knights of Las Vegas 3-1.
I know, it's so crazy, dude. I feel like Blue Jackets good call, but I don't know. Give me the Vegas bounce back on the road here. Fuck Columbus. They're a bunch of losers, and everybody knows it. So give me Vegas here and the over. I think just absolute explosion of goals here for them. I say they win, 6-3. Let's see, next game up. Oh, that's right. We're going to Colorado now as the Avs are taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Over under at 6.5. Colorado's favored here. Minus 475.
Lay it.
Brian says lay it. What do you got for a final score? What do you got?
7-1. The Blackhawks have packed in for the year.
Yeah,
Avs
dude.
Coming off a disappointing loss in Nashville over
That's
the
right.
weekend. The heart of a champion, the talent on this team. Give me the Hattie Boom Batty. Nathan McKinnon here. But 7-1 Avs.
The Hattie Boom Batty, dude. Last time these two teams played each other, February 29th, Avs won 5-0, dude. That was the second time they shut out the Blackhawks. So give me the Avs and then give me the under. It's a story we got under this season for them. Avs win this one 4-1. Next game, and I believe final game here, 9:30. We're going back to Canada as the Calgary Flames are taking on the Kraken, actually. That's right. Flames minus 135 here. Over-under is at 5.5. Flames showing some sign of life, at least against the Kraken. They're up on this series 2-1 on the season, and they are on, I believe, a 7-game win streak. Beating teams like Boston, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Pittsburgh, and Seattle kind of sucks. So what do you say, Brian?
Yeah, I say let's make it 8. I don't like Seattle. I like Kadri and the Flames at home. Jacob Markstrom seemingly playing his way to staying with the Flames as they try to make a push for the wild card in the Western Conference. So give me the Flames here, 4-1.
So Flames and the under. Give me Flames and the over here. I say they win 5-2.
And that is your hockey frenzy.
Just like that, dude.
Just like that.
Great job.
Pumped for the Ranger game tonight. Can't wait to watch. That is for sure. So a couple things to just go over here before we finish up. The first contract extension, Mike Evans with the Bucks, 2 years, $52 million, 26 per.
I was just talking about that last night too.
Staying with the Bucks. What do you guys think about that? Good move, both sides. What do we think here? 31 years old for Mike Evans.
I mean, definitely good move for the Bucks. That's for sure. I mean, geez, I don't know about Mike Evans.
31 though, as a receiver, that's not fast as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think he's still going to be great.
Yeah, he really is.
But I'm saying in terms of years, like 3, 4, 5 years,
right.
I could see why it's a shorter term deal.
Yeah.
The age.
No, yeah, of course. Me too. So I guess good job in terms of the length of the career for the Bucks, of the contract, I should say. So yeah, I guess good job all around. Right.
My thing is, it's for the Bucks. That's great because you got him on a short deal. But like, if I'm Mike Evans, like in 2 years, like, I mean, unless he's ready, he must be ready to hang it up in 2 years. But like in 2 years, like if we're gonna talk about making the most amount of money, like you know what I'm saying, when we look for a long-term deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would be maybe thinking two things. Either like, if I don't win in this contract, like that's it, I'll hang it up, it's fine. Or he's betting on himself to be like, hey, after this, I'm still going to be good.
And I guess the Bucks think like they're really good. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I'm the front office, like either you get him on a deal like this, which it's a good deal, but like I don't know. I feel like we're just like we're just going to be a first round exit each year now. Like I feel like that's the level of talent this team is. And like if we were going to do if anything, I feel like you trade him, and I'm all for trading at their peak, like top value, because from here on out, is the value going to get any better?
Yeah,
maybe after this year, and he's still got a year left on his contract, and he goes to a team like the Chiefs, or like you don't want to say one of those teams that needs someone for a year kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the reason he resigned is simply I think he has a comfort level with Baker.
Definitely.
And just wants to stay probably in his home, his surroundings.
And you got to appreciate that. And as an organization like the Bucks, I mean, he's also a good piece to build around. I understand maybe you want to get rid of him and get younger pieces, but I mean, he is ready to win now. Yeah. Baker seems like he's getting ready to win now also. So, I mean, if you build around those two players, who's to say you're not going to be just a first round exit,
But do you think building around those two players can lead a team to like
it's just the rest of the team. The defense needs to be strong. The offensive line, I think, needs to be rebuilt. Rashad White has to take the next step at the running back position.
But let's say it is a little better though, even with like Baker Mayfield as quarterback. Are we really thinking he's going to go deep in the NFC?
I do.
I honestly, but
right.
You can't argue the NFC is wide open.
Yeah, but I just feel like there's better. I feel like, right, especially after last year, there's better teams. Like, I think Green Bay will be better. I think Detroit will. I think they'll be just as good, but then come playoff time, they'll be better. I think the Eagles are going to bounce back. The Niners are still going to be there. I mean,
but what do they like? Speaking of the Eagles, like, what do they do?
I think I don't know. My opinion was, which is what they're doing. I think we switch up the coaching, see how this year goes. And now if this year doesn't go the way it went 2 years ago, or the way it went the first half of the season, then we go look into talent, because I feel like a lot of the change was just like a coaching thing. Like, how do you win 11 games? It wasn't like the players went like 11-0 and then all of a sudden go 1-8 in their last 9 games. Like there's at some point in there, some adjustment needs to be made to win more games. Like, it wasn't even like we were losing. Like, we played 9 good teams. One of our wins was against the Giants, who we played twice. Another loss was, I think it was against the Cardinals? I think we lost against the Cardinals. Like, we were losing to teams that like you shouldn't be losing to, especially if you have the coaches to make the adjustments. Now, to really decide if you're a good team or not, if you're losing to those good teams, that's a different story. But like losing to these little teams, like these small like teams that shouldn't be an issue, I feel like it's more of a coaching issue.
Yeah.
So We'll see.
And Fangio, defensive coordinator, right?
Yep.
And then who was brought in for offense? Kellen Moore?
Yes, Kellen Moore.
But is Sirianni going to let him call the plays?
I don't know if that's been said yet.
Okay.
But I mean,
I would think that's the plan. Kellen Moore's not going somewhere to be like a
That's what I'm
figurehead.
saying. Yeah, I think they're gonna be there to call. I think he's gonna be there to call the plays, but I think it'll be good. I think honestly, like this, it'll be a good change. And I think it's also a little bit of a wake up call for the players.
Yeah.
Like not only did they switch up the coaching, but even the players are like, oh shit, like you know what I'm saying? Like we really gotta like. I know like maybe a lot of that might not have been on them, but at the same token, like you still gotta like take it up another level because obviously last year, whatever level you're at, only lasted half the season.
Mhm.
And if I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm pissed after what happened in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally couldn't move the ball.
Oh yeah.
Like we moved the ball like maybe twice. Like if Devonta Smith didn't play, we might not have scored. Like
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see what they do to turn things around. Jay getting around for Brock Bowers to the Jets. He's the number 1 tight end in the draft. Would be good, Jay, but I just think we have to go offensive line.
Yeah, you kind of have
definitely.
You know, and I guess he is a good blocker, as well as, but I don't know. I just feel like that offensive line was so bad we have to attack it.
Yeah. I mean, what?
I mean, could you still can you draft O-line first and still end up getting him or nah? Probably not.
No, they're saying end of the first round. And so the pick slots don't exactly match up. They are comparing him to George Kittle, though. So does that change your mind, Tony? Like a full blocker, but also a talented receiver, even though they need offensive line. But since he's, kind of one of those hybrid tight ends.
Honestly, yeah, probably. Because again, like you probably could maybe do the opposite of what I said just a second ago, where you get him first and then get an offensive line.
But no second round pick, so we have to wait till the third. Is that concerning?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I would if I was.
I mean, how do you pass up that though? How do you pass if it's gonna be George Kittle?
Yeah.
How do you pass him up?
Yeah, especially if he's gonna help.
I mean, that's just a comparison. I feel like I know the comparisons. Like, I guess to some people mean a lot, but to me, I don't think they mean like. I don't look at them that high.
They're talking about the Jets getting Tyron Smith, the former Cowboy All-Pro left tackle.
Like if I'm the Jets, I would rather I'm thinking, all right, Aaron Rodgers isn't here for the future; he's just here for the present.
Right.
So I feel like if we go pick up a lineman, that means that now we're going to build this lineman up. And by the time Aaron leaves, he'll establish. He's established himself.
Right.
Then we could bring in a quarterback, and I feel like it'd be easier for whatever quarterback you bring in to grow.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's not this like endless cycle of Jets tanking, they pick up a quarterback and then the quarterback is terrible. Now maybe you've been a little unlucky, but I also feel like a part of it is also because just the whole entire team constructively wasn't that good.
No, I mean I'm not arguing with you. I mean, obviously offensive line is a big problem, but I mean you could argue that with the tight end too. Like let's say you bring in a tight end and he becomes your tight end and he becomes a great tight end, and now any quarterback comes in, now he has a target to constantly throw to. So
you guys have a target. You have Garrett Wilson. That's what if you guys didn't have any targets, then I would say no. But you have, I feel like you already have established offense.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Conklin, like running routes.
I mean, would you rather see that, or would you rather see a lineman blocking Aaron Rodgers so that he doesn't tear his Achilles again?
Well, I feel like we can get both. I think we can do both.
Well,
I mean, if you think so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if it makes sense to trade down.
Yeah,
get extra picks. Because it's supposedly
no second round pick. Yeah,
they're saying 6 to 7 offensive linemen in the first round.
Oh my god, dude, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of have to, right?
Well, because you're at 10. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're going to get somebody if you move back a few spots. It just depends who's available when you. But I just think they want more draft picks, and you have to hit on them. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, especially that's tough with no second round pick. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is that? Do you know why?
Trade. It's a tough one, buddy.
That's so tough, dude.
So it's going to be interesting. But the NFL draft, I guess, a little over a month and a half away.
Yeah.
Combine was this weekend, I think.
Oh, it was. It was.
Yeah, but stuff's overrated.
Yeah, honestly.
Really? Even watching the new 40-yard dash?
Do you like the combine?
4.21?
I mean, no, that's cool, but I mean, like,
I don't sit there and watch it. I'm more of like, I'll just watch the highlights.
I think though it's hard to argue that you would be better off just if you just ignored the combine and just looked at game tape. the
I mean,
players.
yes, but I also feel like I think it's just the way the league is, and I especially like I hate the way Caleb went about it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he's such
dude,
a chief.
stop
He's
it,
a complete
dude.
chief.
Like,
yeah.
go look at my game tape about throwing. Like, dude, you're not like
the
hope
risen Messiah.
I hope he's a bust because he
Yeah.
thinks like he's just
He's
he
the
just thinks he's the man. And he's gonna
Yeah.
walk in there and he's gonna be the
Risen
best quarterback
Messiah,
in the
dude.
league. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't how it works, dude.
No.
Your team was what 500? Like, it wasn't even like you was on a good team.
Are
you were
you
playing for
kidding?
nothing. Did
Yeah.
they even have a bowl game? Like,
He sat out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? You're making it seem like you're at this like prestigious, like, well, I mean, it is a prestigious school, but like you're at this like crazy football school that has a crazy program this year. You went undefeated, you're in the college football playoffs, you beat Bama. Like, this isn't like I don't know. I just don't think
Yeah, he's overdoing it.
you got talent, cool,
Yeah.
but like, come on.
There's nothing.
So who knows? Maybe the Bears will consider trading that pick or taking Drake May. We'll have to see. Now,
Do you think that affects, by the way, like his, I guess, like how if he's going to go first overall or?
I mean, you listen to radio programs,
Right.
It seems like people are split. Some people are turned off. Others say, "I don't care."
But
I mean, he's
yeah,
generational
like
talent.
you think like push comes to shove, like teams are going to be like, I still want him.
I think the Bears ultimately end up taking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there is a thought for alternatives.
Do you
as
think
well.
it'd be worth it for a team to try and like draft him and then maybe get rid of him? No.
No, because you would just trade the pick.
Yeah. Just trade the pick.
Yeah.
I hate
So-
what you're saying though. That's I always think of that, especially like when
Yeah.
when like teams like even like when the Spurs had like that when they had the pick for Wemby, I was like, sometimes like the package you might get is just I know like they're
Yeah.
generational talent, but like the haul you might get back. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what you would get back for the first pick this year, but like if it's like an insane haul, like it's definitely something to think about.
Well, if you were comfortable with the
Like,
other quarterbacks, you could move back to 3.
Yeah.
And maybe get another first,
Right. Oh,
Get
yeah.
another
True.
first, Drake
Another
May.
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. So be interesting to see, what these teams decide to do. I was just going to ask you, were you riled at all? I mean, I know it was such a blowout, but the Boston win yesterday.
Dude, don't get me started. I was pumped.
Yeah.
I was golfing. We ended up playing later. So we finished like probably halfway through the first quarter. And I was
Okay.
checking just on my phone. The last time I checked the game, it was like back and forth, still 3-point game. Game just started. I go on my phone and I get a phone call from one of my only other friends that's a Celtics fan. And my other
But I'm
friend
coming
who's
for
with
blood, Michael.
my friend Josh, who's with my buddy Johnny, and Johnny's a huge Warriors fan, rubs it in my face all the time, nonstop about Curry.
Jeez.
And when I saw those phone calls, I was like, all right, this is going two ways. Either we're down 20 already, which I could definitely see Boston doing, or we're up huge. Dude, when I checked the score, we were up 30. I literally was screaming on the call. I was like, oh shit. Like I was losing my mind. I called everyone. I was like, first of all, the disrespect. I just don't understand why teams think the Celtics are just like they're the best team in the league, like head over shoulders. Like it's not even close. Like we're
I've been
blowing
trying to
teams
tell
out.
Tony, but he just doesn't want to.
No one wants to listen. We're blowing teams out. And like no one
Oh.
takes us as a serious team. We're thinking we're just gonna end up losing to Miami.
And I know
Like-
things are different these days, but I think it speaks volumes that they're the only team in NBA history to have 3 50-point wins in a season.
Exactly. Like we're blowing teams out. Like
Yeah.
Steph Curry said it yesterday. What we're doing to teams now is what they used to do like in 2016, 2017, 2018 when they're at the top. So it's like I don't understand why we're getting kind of like just brushed off, especially in the MVP voting. I get they're having monster seasons too, but like MVP in the media world right now is 9 out of 10 times the best player on the best team, not the most valuable player. Because if it was the most valuable player, it's LeBron James every year.
Right.
And when Jordan was playing, it's Jordan every year. And when Kobe was playing, it's Kobe every year. I feel like those three players, they would get it every year. So if we're gonna pick best player on best team, the Nuggets aren't a 1 seed, to my knowledge. The Thunder are not the 1 seed, it's the Timberwolves.
Right.
And if we're not gonna use Cat or Anthony Edwards, like how is Tatum not like? I know he's in the conversation, but like before the Mavs game, I think he was ranked behind Luka. Like I don't get how the best player on the best team is not like in heavy talks with MVP. Like,
Yeah.
it's so frustrating.
Yeah. No, it's
But I was
kinda-
riled, dude.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
was
I
sick.
did not expect to see that. That's for sure. But they're definitely rolling. But I think the playoffs, are different than the regular season, so I think it'll be anybody's game. And whoever ends up winning, I think as always we've seen, it's a tough road to get there. But we'll keep an eye on it for sure. But yeah. I mean, I think that pretty much sums it up.
I think so, dude.
But excited for the Rangers game later.
Pumped.
Yankees Mets tomorrow.
Yes.
Arnold Palmer Invitational preview on Wednesday.
Huge week.
So let's go. And we really appreciate everyone today who
Mhm.
commented, liked, subscribed, and checked out all the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch, downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Rangers!
Let's go Rangers!
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.